morning and welcome to my channel. Thanks very much for being here. I'm Sharon, the other side of the camera, a bit scary. However, I'm Cara Brandon Creations very kindly asked if I would do a video, craft room tour or certain ways I store things. I'm actually going to do fussy cutting, and I need to admit I have a slight addiction. Fussy cutting. I love fussy cutting. I can sit there for hours. I find it very therapeutic. Don't ask me why. Anyway, so I will show you how I store all my fussy cuts, and please don't judge me with the amount I've got. And also how I store my fabric, how I put that together, what I store it in. What I will do is give you a quick overview of the craft room to start off with. I will be doing a bigger in-depth tour of the craft room later on in the year. As quite a few of you know, we're renovating an old farmhouse, and this room was part of the lounge, the bottom L bit of the L-shaped lounge. We made it into a room, and you'll see that there's work needs to be done in here, so which we're planning to do probably September time. So I just thought I'd give a quick overview of what I've got. So I'll skip over to that now. Hi, so this is where I come into my craft room, the door from the lounge. And this wall is less things that I use, this part anyway. I've got speciality papers, packaging paper, my grandson's pictures. I used to make a lot of jewellery before I did the junk journaling, and so I've got all my beading there, wax seals, buttons, and sort of odds and ends up here. I hope I'm not going too fast. First time I've ever done this. This is recent addition, these shelves that Mark made for me. I cleared all my books out and took the innards out of some to keep, to use for not the vintage books, these are for more backgrounds. And then I have here some Alex drawers. There's all sorts of things, paper bags, gift wrapping, gift bags, specialty papers, folders, more sort of stuff that I don't use that often. And then over here I've got envelopes, a coloured card, chipboard. This is my laces. I don't have a lot. I would love more, but unfortunately we can't get much of it here in Spain. These are small antique vintage books. And then I have further books down here. And this is my cart, my trolley that I use for my craft club. And as you can see, I've got further books down there. Envelopes, some odds and ends, scrapbook paper. I don't have a lot of this, 12 by 12 manila file folders. And these are more of my vintage books here and up here. These are the ones I use. Oh, my receipts. In here, I've got other various craft pieces. I'll just show you quickly. Cards and file folders, things like that, and my cameras. And then here, I have all my groovy parchment work in there. This filing cabinet, the first two top drawers, I got it because I used to print out all the digital kits. I stopped. I only print when I use now. The bottom two are personal folders. Now, as you can see, I'll back up a bit. There's this door here, which goes through to the other side of our house, which has got a couple of bedrooms, bathroom, and another room that we've got to renovate. The idea is this is the only entrance to that side of the house. So we're blocking this up and opening another entrance further down in the kitchen, which is going to be much better for me. But as a consequence, I've tidied up in here and I've sorted some things out, but I want to change this along here. Maybe one long desk. I don't know yet. Until the door's boarded up, I don't quite know. I want to get my silhouette machine out. This is all my Distress Oxide sprays, alcohol inks, just some basic stationery, odds and ends, a display, a couple of display shelves here. Wreath I made a couple of years ago. And then here I've got some where I've torn book pages out that I thought I might use here. My pattern papers, as in sewing pattern and pattern tissue, and my dyed doilies there. And then here I've just got some pens and some other inks I very rarely use. My Tim Holtz Declutter. And then this is tea-dyed, everything you could think of really, that I keep by my desk so that I can use. Some tins with odds and ends in, wax seals, buttons. And these I did try an age, but I didn't like how they turned out, so I've kept them for myself. I'll pull back a bit on my 3 children when they were younger. My sewing machine, my desk where I film, which you can see me in, my oxide inks and all the immediate things in front of me. And then through there you can see the window out to our land, and it's a jungle. It's another job we've got to do. Tools, and then I have my scrap bins here. Over to my vintage ephemera that I've picked up over the last couple of years. My die cut machine, a Gemini, I have there, and other doilies and bits of lace that I've picked up at the charity shops in there, so they're nearby. This is again kits that I've printed out in the past and I haven't used, so I keep them here and I'm starting to use them in different journals. Some vintage antique book page books that I've taken the covers off that I want to use. And then just some odds and ends down there. Now I have another addiction, trolleys. I love trolleys, and I have 5 trolleys. This being my latest edition, which I got a few weeks ago. And this is all my ephemera that I've made and need to use. And on top is my dies and embossing folders. I used to have them in that small shelving unit below the Gemini, but I just couldn't, they were so heavy to get out. This is so much easier. This one, I've got a few free in these 2 trays. All my dangles at the bottom there, and charms. And then this is from years ago when I first started, well, years, not that long ago, I suppose 3-4 years ago, of tags and journal cards and envelopes that I made or printed out, and I still haven't used. More, I don't know what you call this, envelopes and glassine bags, tea bags, that kind of thing. All my label makers and inks. And then I have another trolley here on which is my typewriter, and down the bottom is, yes, the projects that I've got to go through and decide whether I'm actually going to finish them. And these on here are projects that I've started recently, well, over the last 6 months, that I really need to get finished. So I'll be doing that, and some more kitchen rolls. I intend to make something with them again. Then up here I have, I'll start at the top. I have on the wall there is some mementos, memories, the same along the top here, and also 3 wine boxes, which actually there's nothing in them at the moment. I just like the wooden wine boxes. I keep all my fabric up here. That's my printer paper, more fabric, scraps, brads there, and washi tape. This, oh, over here, there, I have all my tea dyed papers or other dyed papers, a bin of scraps, napkins at the top. And then this is again more tea dyed papers, but also things that I've stenciled on, etc. when I've been dyeing them. More material. Backup papers there. Yes, I've got rather a lot. And over here, if I go very slowly around, I hope, and up here is my fussy cuts. Please don't judge. I use white bins and CD holders. I will take one of them down now and show you how I store these. Okay, these are the boxes, the IKEA white boxes I use. And this one is designer ephemera, so I keep it under the designer's name. So for instance, here you have By Boho Love, Old Design Shop and other vintage tags, Graphics Fairy, cutouts, Paper Cameo, not a lot in that one, I tend to use most of hers up, Paperama, 49 Dragonflies, and various others, and this is how I tend to keep it. And then when I do a journal, I usually go through these and decide, for instance here with my Valentine journal, I go through and pick out what I think I might use in the journal with the ephemera, apart from also the ephemera from the kit. This is Paper Cameo. This won't be out yet. And I keep them, I have a project tray like this that I put things in when I'm using them. And now this is themed ephemera. So for instance, nature, sepia, flowers, that's from the Digital Collage Club. Now I have Roxy's flowers and birds, and I really like these. I like the size they are, the way they print, and even if you put 2 to a page, they still come out a decent size, not titchy witchy. So I might be buying more of them and just using these from the future. When I've cleared out over the last month, I have given away a lot of ephemera to my craft club, so they can use it, and to Wendy, who does junk journaling classes at our local craft store. Now I've got these flowers, which are from other designers or packs of ephemera that I've bought, but I'm not so keen on them, but I've kept a few of them to use them. Shabby Dabby Doodahs, umbrellas, butterflies, lots of butterflies, mushrooms. So it's that kind of thing that I keep in here. And as I say, when I'm making something, I'll go through and look at them and decide what I'm going to use. So getting a closer look. Oh, I haven't labelled that one yet. This is large laces, scrap laces, tea-dyed laces. The larger laces that I cut off and use in my journals. I've got my pom-pom trims, more fabric. This is mainly the things I brought back from Dubai. Some tapestry textile, plain materials, and then medium-sized material. This is an interesting one. This is my friend who gives me some papers, some fabrics. So I've just put them on there, and I use foam board for them. This is where I keep my scraps. I don't have a lot of them. And in there is all my tool. Then I have plain dyed and plain material and cheesecloth here. So I put it onto foam board like this. I'll show you how I do that next and what I do. And then I try and keep it roughly. So this is all Tim Holtz and some toil. And then this is sort of themed, like autumn, dogs, bees, the UK, cats. I always plan to do a cat journal, and then some pretty ones here. So what I'll do is I'll show you what I do with the foam boards and how I put them together. I've shown you how I store my fabrics and tulle and all sorts of bits and pieces and laces, or large laces. This is what I use to wrap round the fabrics. So So it comes like this in A3 sheets. It's a foam board here. And what I do, I go down and I measure. Mine fit those IKEA boxes, plastic boxes, 9 1/4. So I go down and measure this. Like that. And then I cut this off. Then I measure 4 1/4 because that is roughly the depth. If I do have a thick piece of material that I wrap around it, like the tapestries, I have to make this slightly smaller, but again it depends on how much fabric I've got to wrap around. Then I just trim it off like I've just shown you there. This last one is thinner anyway. This is 3 3/4, so it's a ½ inch smaller. But again, I do have small pieces, so you'll see that, and I use them for that. And this piece I've got left over, I usually cut in half, which is 8 1/4, and that serves for small scraps as well, so I don't waste any of it. Then I get got these two to be done. These are what a friend gave me for Christmas, which was very kind of her. And I usually do it this way. Oops. I'm thinking, I don't know, with this, reminds me of fireworks. Maybe a 5th of November journal. Don't know if they exist. And then I just put one of these pins in to hold it in place. And then she gave me this lovely Egyptian cotton material. So this is going to be an Egyptian journal, isn't it? And then again, just fold over and put a pin in. I find this the easiest way. I find this the easiest way to keep my material. Okay, it wasn't very long. I hope you got a general overview of my craft room, and also how I store my fussy cuts and my fabric. I hope you've enjoyed that. I will be back later on the year with a sort of a bit more of a full tour showing you what I've got in drawers, etc. So please hit the like button and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. And thanks very much to Cara Brandon for inviting me to do this video in her Declutter and Organise 2025 collaboration. And I will list below who else is in the collaboration. I know I'm at the end, and you may not have seen them though, and you may not have realised it was going on. It'd be great for you to go and have a look at the other channels as well. Thanks a lot. Bye.